So we're here with Todd Batty, creative director for SSX. So first off, last we heard it was called SSX Deadly Descent. Why the name? Why the subtitle gone?
You know, we looked at it in early days, and deadly descents are definitely something that exists in the game. We're showcasing them here, actually, or 4 of them here this week. But it's really a smaller part of the game. We felt like calling it deadly descents was kind of shoehorning us into a place that was maybe not necessarily indicative of where the game is at. I mean, from day one, our tagline's kind of been race it, trick it, survive it. Deadly descents are a part of survive it, but racing and tricking has always been a huge part of SSX, and it's a huge part of this game. So, you know, we just kind of looked at it, and we go through a number of name changes in development and decided to drop it.
Okay, so SSX, most of us old school gamers loved it on the PlayStation, and it was tricks equals boost. Please tell me it's still stayed, it's still there. Tricks equals boost equals speed equals fun.
Absolutely, tricks equals boost is like you said, kind of the fundamental mechanic of SSX, and so yeah, that's been there from day one, and it's there in this game. Basically, as you go down the mountain, you're always trying to do tricks. Tricks build up your boost bar. You can spend that to help yourself go faster, which is a key, strategy when you're doing race events. But then in trick events, if you build up your boost bar and you don't spend it by going faster, if you get your boost bar full, you go into what we call tricky mode, named after the old game, obviously. When you go into tricky, all of your tricks that you've been doing when you were in regular gameplay get replaced with uber tricks. These start to get crazy. You kick a foot out of your binding, spin around, do some crazy stuff. All your grind tricks get replaced. Everything gets upgraded to be something bigger and bolder. Then when you're in tricky mode, you can extend the life of tricky by building up a combo and doing cool things. And if you can, while you're in tricky mode, if you can build up and do more and more tricks, something we've recently added is we've added a second layer where you can actually go into super tricky. So very old school. As you're in tricky, as you do tricks, you fill up the letters of tricky. If you get them all full before tricky runs out, you enter super tricky. And now all your uber tricks are replaced with super uber tricks. Plus you can do your character's signature trick and all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, that's really what this game is all about at its core.
I heard you teamed up with NASA to do the level design. What was that like?
Yeah, it was amazing. So, in early days we knew we wanted to deliver a massive world for people to explore. The catch with that is, of course, building a massive world takes a massive amount of people and a massive budget. And so we were looking for ways, with SSX to build that massive world and do that in an innovative way and try to find ways to do that cost effectively. And we stumbled upon the fact that NASA has topography data of the entire planet Earth available in the public domain. So we downloaded it into a tool that we call Mountain Man. And we got to a point really early in development where we could literally type in the latitude and longitude coordinates of any mountain on Earth, press a button, and Mountain Man would create a 3D perfect replication of that mountain and all the surrounding mountains in about 28 seconds. What's cool about that is, there are a lot of people in early days who are like, oh, but I don't want to ride on simulation mountains, I want SSX tracks. So that's really where our work begins. What we do after we start with sort of our topography data is then we have a huge team of level designers and world builders, and they take whatever creative liberty we decide that we want to take to mold and shape and sculpt the terrain that we find to create the best gameplay experience possible. And so, from my point of view, it's the end consumer who's going to win here, because our world builders and level designers, they get to spend all their time focusing on what matters most to our end consumer, which is creating amazing gameplay. So it was a really big win for us, and it got us a lot of momentum in early days.
Okay, so we've all seen it so far in the trailers, the wingsuit. Now I have to ask, as creative director, you had to feel what it was like to play. Have you gone wingsuit? Have you used a wingsuit yet? Are you now a massive boarder? Are you jumping off cliffs yourselves on your spare time?
You would not catch me dead. It was really interesting. In early days, we kind of thought, well, SSX is an arcade, snowboarding action adventure game, and so, we need to not only do what people can do in real life, but we need to then exaggerate and take it up to 10 and create a fantasy for people that arcade games are all about. So one of the first things we said is, well, we should figure out what's the craziest things that people are doing in real life, and make sure we're doing all of that, and then figure out a way to crank it up to be even crazier and more over the top. And the first time somebody showed me a YouTube video of what people do with wingsuits, I was like, oh my god, we need to put that in our game, for sure. It's crazy and it's insane, and it's one of the coolest new gameplay features in SSX.
Okay, in 3 words, why do people need to buy this game?
In 3 words?
3 words.
It is awesome.
There you go. Brilliant. So SSX is out in Europe in the early next year?
Early next year, February 17th. So we just announced our official launch date, February 14th in North America, February 17th in Europe. We're excited. It's going to be great.
Dude, brilliant. Thank you so much.